Be different based on matchups. He's a total pro. He's first team All NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him, but in a 40-minute game, you can't play more than 10. You really can't. And so I think he's an amazing guy, great player, and handled it beautifully. And he'll be back out there next game.
All right, a few things. First of all, yes, you can play more than 10.
If you can play 10, you can play 12.
Exactly.
Especially when you win by 26.
And when you get the amazing guy compliment, that is basically an insult.
Yeah.
Kevin Wilde's not going to show. Amazing guy, though. Amazing guy.
That's what I say about you every time.
Amazing guy. As soon as you hear amazing guy, we have an intern watching. Yeah. If anyone calls you an amazing guy, you're doing a bad job. All right, Brew, how should Tatum feel about the benching?
Well, look, publicly, it's odd because publicly you have to put on a good face. I mean,
Tatum?
Yes. Yeah. Privately, though, as a competitor, you're going to be ticked off. But you can't really say it to anybody.
He wasn't crazy, like, bench mob guy.
Oh, no.
I was, like, watching it. He was just...
It was reasonable, but he didn't put on the face Halliburton did.
No,
Halliburton was like, I'm just happy to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
They're at different stages.
Yeah.
One's a world champion, first team All-NBA 3 straight years. Middle of his, I guess maybe beginning his prime. Right?
Sure.
Halliburton, like you said, he's just happy to be there.
Also,
he's a
one is
kid.
clearly the best player on his team, and the other's Jason Tatum, and so it's like a weird spot.
But I think what helped it, I would imagine, like if I was in his shoes, what would help Steve Kerr going to him before the game and saying, look, we got KD coming back. Your minutes might be small, or you might not play at all because we got KD. And explaining to him the matchups. Hey, they're big. We're going with all three of our centers. They're guard-oriented. We're playing some guard, so you might not play. No, I do think that helps you. If I were in that situation and the coach came to me beforehand and said, look, blah, 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 you may not play today, that would feel better than if I'm blindsided. I think I'm the seventh man, and then I'm not playing. And one more thing quickly. I think what will determine how he feels ultimately about this, Kerr said he's going to play against South Sudan. That's their next game.
Yep.
If he plays 3 or 4 minutes, it's a tight game, then I think it's really going to hit Tatum like, yo, I'm like one of the bottom dudes on this team. If he plays 16 like he played last time against them, and he's in the rotation, he's a factor, I think he'll brush that off as it was a matchup thing, it was a KD thing. But we'll see how it is going forward.
So it's obviously extra weird because what the last few months have been. Conference finals happen, Jaylen Brown gets the trophy. And it's like, oh, I never win anything. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Finals happen. The Celtics win easily. And the only person who seemingly really struggled in that series, I understand your point, Brew, on the Celtics side of things, which is he had a better series than maybe the box score suggests. But the only person who really struggled, by his own standards, is Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown gets that trophy. Now the Olympics are happening, and I don't think Kerr made a mistake. That's my take.
At all?
Yeah.
Like he should have put him in. Well, unless he felt like it was insulting to put him in.
Because here's the thing. I think people are looking at this a little wrong, and this is what is so interesting to me. It's really just a Jason Tatum versus Devin Booker question. That's what it is. Kerr can talk rotations, matchups, this, that, or whatever. Devin Booker is getting his minutes.
Okay, Devin Booker had 26 minutes.
I know. And what
Do you think Booker's better than Tatum?
Well, Steve Kerr does.
Well, not necessarily.
Here's the thing. I think with this three-point line, because it's weird. Tatum is a better career three-point shooter than Devin Booker and was better three-point shooter this year in the regular season. Shot more and had a higher percentage. But in the playoffs, it plummeted for Tatum. And this is a shorter line, and Booker and KD love those long twos, which are threes in FIFA. And so, yes, Embiid might have his minutes cut, but that's just because they're going to go to Bam or AD.
And he's not really playing that much.
And he's not really playing that much either. The guards are Ant, Steph, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. They all kind of have unique roles. The wings, forwards, LeBron, who has been the best player, Durant, who's played one game and was perfect, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. So it's really when you said Kerr, if he came to you ahead of time, if I were Tatum, he came to me ahead of time, I think my thought process would be like, okay, I understand all of this about Kevin Durant, but why is Devin Booker ahead of me in the hierarchy? And the only answer to that question, I think, is we think Devin Booker's better, or a better fit for what we're doing.
I was going to say, see, that's what, and I don't think Tatum's going to have a huge role, even if he starts playing going forward. But he has to look at it like this is not just the best player. He's better than Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
Can we agree on that?
definitive.
He's better than Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
And I do think he's better than Booker. You can argue that, but I think he's
Sure.
better. So, and heck, Jaylen Brown isn't even on the team.
Yeah.
So I think he has to look at it for himself that, look, I can't let this get me down because it's not about I'm better
how
than
it
these
wouldn't
guys.
get you down, man.
Well,
he's
you're going
like
to
the
get your
first
goal.
guy.
I mean, if he doesn't play at all, I guess.
He's going to be the first guy ever, Wilds, to win a championship and have a bad few months.
Yeah.
From where he is in the NBA hierarchy standpoint is my point. Like, since he could win a championship and a gold medal, and from the day before the finals started to the medal ceremony, drop in people's mental rankings of players.
A controversial take, it's probably good for the Celtics next year.
Motivation?
A little bit.
No,
Like, I'm disrespected now. Like,
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown's like, me
absolutely.
too. Like, we're both in the same boat
It's kind
now.
of like I've talked about the Chiefs. Like, even though they won the last 2 Super Bowls, they got a reason to be motivated. He will have a reason to be motivated. But here's the other. Team USA has to recognize who's their leader. I mean, it'll probably be Anthony Edwards.
Oh,
but
moving forward?
Tatum going forward is a critical part. And the last Olympics, he was the second leading scorer. So he has had his moments on the international stage, and he's going to be a big part, I would imagine, going forward. So you got to kind of be careful about that.
All right, before we move on, here's the weird part, because Kerr said Tatum was going to play, and then he said, I'm not going to answer the second question, who's not going to play? So I'll ask you, if Tatum does get minutes and he only wants to play 10,
Embiid.
oh, you think Embiid's not playing?
Well, I think Embiid
the
will have it
matchup
cut significantly
isn't right.
because he said we're going to play 3 bigs this game because of who it was. So I think Embiid, but I
The
just
athleticism.
But the problem with
Embiid only
Embiid
had
is
11
he's been
and
a
he was
starter.
out quickly.
Embiid's been bad.
Embiid's been worse
bad.
than Jason Tatum. Sure.
I don't know who's having the toughest Olympics from a mental standpoint thus far. Tatum, Embiid, or Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown's a sneaky winner. He's like, I'm not dealing with any of this. I
Just sending
fired up
bomb tweets. Yeah. All right, Brock Purdy sat down with Michael Silver of the San Francisco Chronicle. The headline, Purdy kicks polite. Live from New York. It's the show that is welcoming Chris Broussard back to the show.
Great to be here.
How was your vacation?
Wonderful.
Oh,
Great family.
And it's a good warm-up to your next vacation.
That was really going to be good.
This guy is unbelievable.
Hey, when football's here, I'm here every day.
Exactly
Football,
right.
basketball.
That's right. It's
Gotta
great
take
to
my
have you,
vacations
bro.
when I can get
Until then, it's
You
I'm in and
earned it,
out.
bro. Go ahead.
It's first things first. Today, why Brock Purdy says he's Brady-esque. Coach Mangini is here, and he weighs in. He usually does not like these Brady comparisons, but maybe he surprises us. Meanwhile, Cowboys make Dak an offer and no go from Dak's camp. Does this mean he's interested in leaving Dallas? And finally, a tiff between Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. Is this something or nothing? It did end in a nice handshake, so maybe it's actually good for the
Trouble in
Jets.
paradise.
Oh. Alongside Chris Broussard, I'm Kevin Wilds. Nick, what was your, give us a
My
early
takeaway
take.
from this?
Yeah.
Just a perfect narration from, I assume, a South Jersey located Jets fan. If you can watch this video on Twitter, watch it with the sound up.
What's the fake? It's the
No, but the guy.
oh,
no,
I know what you're talking
the
about.
guy,
Is that
the guy
Randall Cobb?
who's no, the guy who's describing the video is just in my mind's eye what a Jet fan sounds like. Sounds just like him. It's perfect. It's
He
perfect.
was scared on the video.
We're starting with Team USA, topple Serbia by 26. LeBron almost had a triple-double, just dominated the game. KD went 5 for 5 from 3, didn't miss a shot in the first half, scored 23 points in 17 minutes. Here's the stats from our elder statesman.
Wow.
That worked out, right? LeBron had 21. KD had 23. Brew, who had the more surprising performance?
Well, look, I'm not surprised either guy played well, but we had been watching LeBron be arguably the best player on the team throughout the exhibitions. So I expected him to play well, and obviously he did. But KD, because he had not played, this was his first game, He was what, an hour before the game they decided he was going to play?
Yep.
I expected him to come in,